What's going on, YouTube? Alright, so I am here today to talk to you guys about my top Beatles album list and my personal favorites. And first off, before we get started, I'm going to say that there's not one bad Beatles album. I love them all. It's just some I enjoy more than others. But we're going to start from the top here at number 13 with Yellow Submarine. Yellow Submarine is a very cool album to listen to. It's very fun. The first half is original Beatle material, and the second half is George Martin's score from the film, which is, I don't know, how would you guys describe it? Psychedelic-ish, cartoonish, whatever. It's a good film. The reason this is at 13, though, is because that very reason. That half of it is film score, and 2 of the 6 original Beatles songs, they're repeats. It's Yellow Submarine and All You Need Is Love. So the 4 new ones we get are very good, though. All Together Now, Hey Bulldog, it's All Too Much, and Only Northern Song. It's very cool, and I think the artwork is very fun to look at. So that's Yellow Submarine. Number 12, we have the Beatles' first album, Please Please Me. This is very fun. It's very rock and roll. You know, it's oldies. This is pretty much what it is. It's a great album. It's got Twist and Shout, Do You Want to Know a Secret, Baby It's You, and my favorite on the album is probably Anna, which is a cover, but it's the Beatles handle their covers pretty well. So this is Please Please Me. And then number 11, we have Beatles For Sale. Buddy Holly cover on here with Words of Love, Chuck Berry rock and roll music. It just goes to show you how good the Beatles were at actually doing covers. And there are originals on here too, like No Reply, I'm a Loser, 8 Days a Week. It's a very fun album to listen to, and it's growing on me. So that's Beatles For Sale. Then number 10, we have the Beatles' final released album, Let It Be. I've heard this described as, I believe, Canadian Stud Muffin. You should go check him out, by the way. He described it as rough around the edges, which makes sense. I like to think of these albums as the Beatles. They have their own little formula, and this doesn't really follow it for me. I feel everything has to be organized, and you'll see what I mean later on. Even though this was kind of, it's still fun. It still has some great songs. You know, I've Got a Feeling, Get Back, For You Blue, and Two of Us. Two of Us was probably my favorite on this album. I like it a lot. And it makes a good t-shirt. At number 9, we have With the Beatles. The Beatles' second album released. George Harrison's first composition as a Beatle appears on here, and Don't Bother Me. Which is got a couple covers on here, but I Want to Be Your Man, All My Loving, It Won't Be Long. This is classic Beatles right here. With the Beatles. Now, number 8, when I first got it, this was the first Beatles album that I got, and it remained my favorite Beatles album for a while. Magical Mystery Tour. The reason I first got it is because it had the most amount of songs that I was familiar with. You know, I'm the Walrus, Hello Goodbye, Strawberry Fields Forever. It does include, like I said, I'm the Walrus, which is my all-time favorite Beatles song. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's been bumped out of its slot for number 1, and you'll see by which album later. It just never really regained its strength. But it's a very fun album. The film is very odd, but fun. Good album. And then number 7, Rubber Soul. I like to think of this as the transitional period. Sorry, I guess we're in Egypt now. I like to divide early Beatles and late Beatles, and this album kind of falls right in the middle. And they experimented with the sitar on Norwegian Wood, and just different song composing styles. You know, In My Life, Wait, you know. And this back cover is pretty cool too. But that's a good album. I like it a lot. Number 6. You guys are going to give me so much grief for this one. Abbey Road. It's terrific from start to finish. It's got wonderful songs. This probably is Paul's best vocal performance on any Beatles album. And I think altogether the composing, even Ringo writes on this one, Octopus's Garden, the compositions on this album are magnificent. And listening to it from start to finish is incredible. The medley is, I don't know, an eargasm. This is is the only term I can think of. So, sorry for the kids out there. But yeah, there's a back cover, and probably the most recognizable album cover of all time. It's Abbey Road. Number 5, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. A very, very experimental album. Very fun to listen to. Very psychedelic. And the artwork is awesome to look at, too. No, they got the mustaches going, which is pretty cool. The music itself is wonderful. My favorite on this album has to be Good Morning, which is pretty, I guess you could say, underrated. And it's catchy. You know, a lot of these songs are catchy. I love this album so much. Number 4, we have Help. The reason I like this album so much is because I associate it with the film Help, which is a very fun film as well. The first half, as you can see, the first half is the soundtrack from the film. The second half is, for the most part, original compositions. It's Only Love is one of my favorites on this. It's short but sweet. I love it a lot. I think, they all contribute a lot to this album and turned out to be a very, very good piece of music. Number 3, what a lot of people accuse to be filler, the Beatles, the White Album. I strongly disagree in terms of the filler. I think this is magnificent. Even on disc 2, Cry Baby Cry, one of my favorites on the whole album. I've been listening to that on a repeat over and over and over again. It's just so much fun. Yeah, even Piggies. I mean, okay, strike me down for saying this, but I enjoy Piggies. There, okay. And just a ton of other songs, excuse me. Savoy Truffle, Helter Skelter. This is one of the most enjoyable albums, and that's why it falls at number 3. Number 2, A Hard Day's Night. Now, back earlier when I talked about the Beatle formula, this follows it. Everything's organized, everything's laid out, it's very structured. I love it. And it's all original material, too, so... and going along with the film, it's awesome. This is a good album. This is classic Beatlemania. If you want to hear early Beatles, pick up this album. And then, number 1, Revolver. This spun Magical Mystery Tour out of number 1, and since it has always held this spot, and I'm pretty sure it always will hold this spot. I don't know what it is with this album, but I can listen to it over and over and over again without getting sick. And it's just so much fun. The songs on here, and I'm just going to say For No One is the most underrated Beatles song. Quote me on that one. Spread the word. For No One is the most underrated Beatles song of all time. And I hope you guys agree with me on that one. Yeah. So, Yellow Submarine, I'm Only Sleeping with the backwards guitar solo. I think this is the start of the late Beatles, and this is my favorite album of all time. That's Revolver. Alright, so that is my list of my favorite Beatle albums, so feel free to leave a comment, like, dislike, agree with me, disagree with me, start an argument in the comment section, go ahead, I don't care. It's up to you guys. I hope you enjoy this list. I hope this has encouraged the non-Beatle fans, which, well, you wouldn't be watching the video if you're a non-Beatle fan. I hope this has encouraged Beatle fans to go out and get all the albums. I guess that works. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.